Wing Chun sometimes is such a neglected thing. People focus on the arms, and for good reasons. You need to develop a lot of body control and coordination with your arms. No doubt about it. So much time spent on that. But it's important to remember that footwork is the wheels that make everything go. Without good footwork, your Wing Chun will only go so far. And I guarantee, without that understanding of the center of gravity, which is controlled by the footwork, again, you'll only go so far. So let's go through some basic footwork. I've done previous videos on shifting, so I'm not going to do shifting right now. But it is important to remember that shifting is the mother motion of all footwork. In application, there's probably rarely going to be a time where I'm going to just shift. But as far as drill aspect, for development, it's important to understand shifting is there to help you start to, as a stepping stone, to control your center of gravity in a now a dynamic position. And again, I always want to be balanced when I'm shifting 50-50. I never want to take my center of gravity. I should be shifting side to side with it. And when we go to our next step, which is footwork, again, I should always be 50-50 in my footwork. Now, it's important to remember that this distance between your feet, whatever that distance is for you personally in your Ichikimama stance, let's just call it 18 inches. When I'm doing any footwork, at the end of that step should always be 18 inches. If there's a time where I do a footwork and I'm here, and now there's 17 or 16 inches, I am now off my natural base. And I need to start to become aware of that as I'm progressing with my drill. So that's one of the several things that you want to be aware of. Where's my center of gravity? Am I relaxed? Are my knees naturally bent? Are my hips naturally rolled forward? Is my back straight? I don't want to be leaning side to side, forward, backwards. So the first step we're going to do is what we call a three-angle step. So from here, all you're going to simply do, I'm going to move with my right leg first. So my left foot is going to turn out, just not even 45 degrees, probably about 15 degrees. What it is as much as my foot is turned in when I do my Ichikima, that's how much it's going to turn out. And then from here, my hips and my shoulders are going to be going forward. I'm going to step forward with that. Now, why do I have these lines on the floor here? Well, I was doing footwork earlier in class today, and I decided it's time to do a good workout video with footwork. Now, it's important to remember when you're doing this first step, the three-angle step, and I turn the foot and I go forward with that I need to keep my feet, and ultimately when we do more footwork, on these lines. Why did I draw these lines? Because when you do forward step, two biggest mistakes that I see people make is they turn their foot out okay, and as they come forward, they bring this foot in, and now they've shortened their stance up. I don't want to always swing my leg in when I'm doing a simple three-angle step. In future steps, we'll get into how the leg functions and does some half circling, but for right now, I want to keep my feet on these two lines and go forward towards the target. So the other big mistake that I see people make is when they go forward, they now bring the rear leg in between the lines. I want to keep my feet on these lines. So I go forward, I don't want to come in here and take my foot off that line. I have now shrunk my base. I want to keep my base where it is naturally, my Ichikima. So I go forward, my feet are on the lines. I go backwards, feet are on the lines. I do forward bracing, my feet are still on these lines. Alright? So that's why, again, simple thing you can do. Just draw two chalk lines on your driveway or wherever you practice, or lay down some scotch tape or something, and learn to keep your feet on those lines. So that's the first step we're going to do. So I'll do that a couple times. So remember, I turn the foot out, and now my other leg, the stepping leg, goes forward. Now, it's also important to remember that the rear leg, I don't want to come in here and think, oh, this just steps. The rear leg is always going to be adjusting. So what does that mean? Well, forgetting Wing Chun for a second, if I just take a step, what happens? My rear leg naturally comes up so I can maintain my center of gravity. I would never take a step and just say, oh, I'm talking to the person over there, and just go like this. Who does that? Nobody, because that's not how the body naturally moves. Remember, the essence of Wing Chun is to teach you how the body is naturally moving. So you've got to analyze that. You can't just think like, oh, well, I've memorized this pattern. In the beginning, it does kind of work that way, but ultimately the progression of your development leads to understanding how the body is naturally moving. And that's what you're working towards. But before that, it's going to be mechanical. That's just the natural progress. As you go through grade school, before you get to calculus, you've got to understand arithmetic. So that's the first one. That's the 3-angle step. I simply turn the foot out. Turn the foot out, step forward. Turn the foot out, forward. Turn the foot out, forward. Yeah, that foot naturally adjusts. Even if I take a small step, that foot naturally adjusts. I always want to be able to feel where my ichikimata is. When I'm here, and this foot turns out, and I go forward, I need to now feel that stretch of my ichikimata. But because of my proper leg tension and awareness of my base, this naturally comes back up. Now, at the end of every footwork, you can do one simple thing. I should be able to shift back to ichikimata, and I'm right back on my base, 18 inches between my feet. So any footwork you do, I should be able to shift back to ichikimata, and that's how you can tell if your step was correct or not. So that's a 3-angle step. The next step we're going to do is what we call forward brace. Now, when I'm here, I do forward brace. Forward brace is a very small motion. Because you've got to remember, the footwork we do in Wing Chun is all transitional footwork as you're moving around and adjusting, to the opponent. Whether you're in chi sao, closing gap drills, or God forbid you're actually fighting somebody. All these footwork are there to help you understand and control the center of gravity, so that when you are in contact with somebody, you are able to smoothly flow and transition and maintain that center of gravity flowing with the live opponent. So when we do forward brace, now I'm going to forward brace with my left leg. So when I'm here, this is now a combination step of shifting and stepping. So with my left leg, I'm going to go forward and shift. Now, right before the foot comes down, that's when I'm going to shift. Now my hips and my shoulders are going to be in line with my feet this way. And I'm still going to be looking forward. So I don't want to come in here, and come in here, and come in here. Again, I'm always going to be looking forward. So in future workouts, when we combine this with punching, I would come in here forward brace and punch. But again, that's in the future. Right now, just get your feet doing what they need to do. So, and also, it's important to note, when I do this forward brace, it's just going to be literally like one toe width, maybe like an inch or so, in front of the other. So I don't want to come in here and forward brace this way right here. I just do natural forward brace. What does that mean? Literally, feel the little stretch, one toe in front of the other, and this leg comes up this way. It's important to note, I don't want to come in this way when I do the forward brace. Again, I stay on the lines. I go forward, turn. I go forward, turn. Forward, turn. Forward, turn. That's how I want to do my forward brace. Easy, right? Simple. So the last footwork that I want to do, just for this basic footwork, is going to be called step slide. Now, this is a very common footwork in Wing Chun. So all you're going to do is you're going to do your 3-angle step. Now from here, I'm going to do step slide. So I take my lead foot, I step, my other foot naturally slides up. Again, I need to maintain a 50-50 balance when I do this. I don't want to come in here and think, oh, I'm leaning back on this. So when you do that, remember, it's going to be off a 3-angle step. So turn my foot out, 3-angle step. Now I can do step slide. But again, you notice when I do this step slide, and I'm here, I step, this foot doesn't come in. And I step, I don't want to come in this way, in between. That will throw me off my base during the transition if I'm actually in contact with somebody. I always need to maintain that base and understanding of ichikimata within all the footwork that I do. So that's why I always want to practice a balanced 50-50 control of my center of gravity. So, again, when I'm here, turn, 3-angle step, you can do step slide. Turn, 3-angle step, step slide. Very easy. Now, here's a drill that you can simply do to put all 3 of those footwork together. I can do from here. Forward brace. From here, step slide, a 3-angle step, step slide. And I can do step, offset. So I can do the other side. Forward brace, 3-angle step, step slide. And from here, forward brace, 3-angle step, step slide. I can go back and forth like that and practice both sides if I want to, and go up and down as needed. So remember, footwork, great thing to practice. Sometimes, unfortunately, we neglect the thing to practice, but take your time with it. Remember, it's all going to control the center of gravity. So when I'm here, 3-angle step, step slide. 3-angle step, step slide. That's another drill that you can simply do. And just to get the footwork going. Now, as a quick side note, don't get in the habit of thinking, oh, I can do step slide, step slide, step slide. Application, ultimately, it's up to you, however you want to apply it. But realistically, would you ever chase somebody down and step slide and turn? No. Step slide again, just that adjustment step where I 3-angle step, step slide. 3-angle step, step slide. Just a quick, simple adjustment step. And the step slide actually, while it is a step, but it's the slide action that's so important to understand within that step, because that slide action, as I mentioned earlier, is within all the other footwork that you're going to do. That's why the step slide is so important to understand. So, because when I'm here and I step slide, this slide action, every time I do any footwork, I do 3-angle step, slide action. I do forward brace, slide action of the support foot. That slide is ingrained within all the footwork that we do. That's why it's so important to understand. Ultimately, it takes time to do it, but to analyze what's going on mechanically with the body. All right, good luck.